So, Ginger.
Yeah?
You know how we wanted to start a podcast, but we were having trouble coming up with a topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my pitch. The topic of the podcast is us trying to come up with the topic for the podcast.
What? Like we pitch each other podcast ideas and that's the podcast?
Yeah, exactly. We could call it, What Should Our Podcast Be About?
Miles, that's really stupid. Let's do it.
What should this song be about? I'm trying to figure it out. What should this song be about? Could you perhaps help me out? I've had a moment of doubt. What should this song be about? Welcome to What Should Our Podcast Be About? The podcast where we try to figure out what this podcast that you're listening to right now should be about. I'm Miles Grover.
And I'm Ginger Barrow.
I have a few things from last time to update.
Okay.
We read something about a honey glider, which we were like, is that different than a sugar glider?
Yes.
It is not different than a sugar glider.
It's just a different name.
Yeah. So the weird thing is I was Googling it, honey glider versus sugar glider or something like that. And of course the AI was like, yes, they're different things.
Right. And then you were like, fuck off AI. No one asked you.
Yeah, well, it was like, yes, they're different things. A sugar glider is this. End of statement. So it didn't explain how they were different things.
Right.
And it turns out it was totally wrong.
Of course.
But I think because there wasn't really a lot about honey gliders in general, almost all the results were just for sugar gliders.
Yeah.
But I did find a couple pages saying like also known as honey gliders for sugar gliders. So,
okay.
So I think that's just what that was.
Yeah.
Also, we talked about the girl on Instagram with the wild animal in her house. Mm-hmm. She was Russian, I believe.
Was she Russian?
Yeah, because it was a sable. It wasn't a weasel. It was a sable.
Right.
And
Russian sable.
It was a sable, which if you don't know what a sable is, it's basically a black weasel.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the name, the color name sable from.
Wasn't hers brown?
They're dark brown. Yeah. They're dark brown. But
yeah,
in oldie times, that was pretty much black, right?
Right.
Like, we could go into a whole thing about color names over time, but
a podcast about color theory.
Yeah. We did actually have an idea a while back about color names because I wanted to just talk about the fact that there's a color called Sweet William. If you recall that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Anyway, that's what I got for last time. Before we get going, I also want to mention that if you don't know, during our outro section, we have started having a secret phrase that we will come up with. And if you are the first person to post that phrase in the comments, then you win the episode and you are entitled to request a drawing from me or a song from Ginger. And the song will be bad and the drawing will be bad, but you can ask for one.
Yeah.
And we'll announce that you're the winner of that episode and it'll be cool.
And maybe sing about you.
Yeah. So that's just a little enticement to listen through to the very end.
You also might get to hear our son being cute at the end of the episode.
True. We also have other things. But the idea of the outro is to have fun things at the end to,
Last week he sang the alphabet and that was pretty great.
It was very cute. Yeah.
He says, now I A B C, next me.
Yeah. He's getting it. He's getting there.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't get there too soon because it's pretty cute.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah. Did we talk last week about the more chips thing?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So one day he was eating tortilla chips and I asked him if he wanted more chips and he learned to say more chip. But now he just thinks that's how you ask for more of something.
Right.
So
he wants more Elmo. He's like, more chip.
More chip.
He wants more milk.
More chip.
He wants the letters that he's thrown into the bathtub.
More chip.
Right. Yeah. Everything is mo chip.
Mo chip.
It's
very cute.
Yeah. Maybe if we can get a recording of that.
He's also started saying he'll grab our hand to take us places when he wants something. And we've been asking him, what do you want? And he just answers now, want.
Yeah. Or I'll be like, can you tell me what you want? And he'll be like, want. Yeah.
Want.
Yeah. Okay. I knew that you wanted something.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very cute.
Very cute little guy.
Another thing, is we will probably continue to have recordings of Rory doing cute stuff.
It's our favorite outro, really.
Yeah. It's one of the more difficult to actually capture.
Yeah, but it's great having it preserved on good audio.
Yeah.
Well, except for last week. Last week I recorded it on my phone.
Yeah, a lot of times it gets recorded on the phone, but it's still good. All right, should we get started with the podcast?
Oh,
proper?
Yeah, starting right now.
Now the podcast started.
Now the podcast is going to start for real.
All that stuff before this was not a podcast.
It was not the podcast.
It was something else. I don't know what it was, but
yeah.
Do you have ideas this week?
I do not have a lot of ideas this week. I have one real stupid idea.
Okay. We like that.
It's not a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea for me to do with you.
Okay.
I was like, okay, let's do a breastfeeding podcast.
Okay.
Podcast about breastfeeding where I talk about breastfeeding and struggles with breastfeeding and you contribute nods and that sounds hard.
I mean, it could be like the kind of dynamic of Sawbones where one of them's a medical doctor and the other one's her husband.
Yeah.
And he just kind of cracks jokes while she knows things.
Yeah.
Right? She talks about stuff that's things and he just makes jokes about it usually.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
That could kind of work.
That could work.
I'll be like, haha, boobs. That's my joke.
It's a setup and a punchline all in one.
Boobs. Yeah, okay. Do you have something you want to talk about your struggles with breastfeeding right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, my current struggle is like my nipples are hurting a lot.
Haha, nipples.
And
I'm good at this.
Now the world knows that. And Rory is also teething. And so
always teething.
Wanting to breastfeed constantly.
To soothe himself. And he's not always the most gentle. And it hurts like times 50. Right.
When my nipples are already sore because hormones stuff.
Yeah. You also said he kicked you in the boob.
Yeah, last night he kicked me in the boob because he has started doing this thing where he will lie sideways on the bed when he's starting to fall asleep. And usually he likes to like twiddle my nipple with his fingers.
Right.
But he's recently started doing it with his toes when he's lying sideways on the bed.
Yeah. He does that with a lot of stuff where like he knows how to use his hands for stuff, but sometimes he's just like, no, I want to use my foot for it now.
Yeah.
Like he'll try to turn pages in the book with his foot sometimes and stuff.
But it's like I kind of put my hands over my nipples just to protect them because like I don't know when he's gonna kick. But he got frustrated that he couldn't reach my nipple with his toe, I presume.
Right.
And just all of a sudden like gave a frustrated kick, like kicking his feet back and forth and just kicked me right in the middle of my left boob.
Yeah.
And it was quite painful.
Kind of like if somebody got hit in the nuts. Haha.
I don't know what that feels like, but
probably similar to that.
Yeah.
I don't know what getting kicked in a big mommy boob, I guess, feels like. Like, I don't know I imagine getting kicked in a boob feels different than getting kicked.
Like, imagine you were already like super achy. Like, you were already like in pain. I don't know, somebody just comes along and did like punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems bad.
It's bad.
That would be my guess is bad.
He's bitten me a couple times.
Right. On the nipple.
Yeah, on the nipple. That's not a fun time.
Yeah.
That one is especially like because when he hurts me while he's nursing, like it's hard not to like yell out when something hurts you. Mm-hmm. And so then he gets startled and then he'll start crying. So then it's always a situation where I'm in enormous amounts of pain, but also having to comfort him.
Yeah, totally.
And pretend I'm not in pain, which maybe just is parenthood.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe someday they'll understand what you went through. Maybe if they have kids, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's fine. It's part of the gig.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure I never caused my parents pain, so I'm not going to think about that.
I mean, actually, like, I've never heard from my mom about any like pain I caused her while breastfeeding or.
Yeah. It might also be something you just kind of forget over time.
Yeah.
You know, he'll only be this age for a little while.
Yeah.
If we end up having another kid or anything, it'll still be a relatively short period of time. In 20 years, you won't probably remember it too much.
Yeah. We're in the thick of it at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the idea. I could talk about how much I hate pumping. Mm-hmm. And you could nod and be like, yeah.
Yeah. It makes a noise.
Pumping's the worst.
I hear it when you do it sometimes, and the noise is sort of annoying. So I can relate.
And that's called empathy.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot of legs to that idea, but
there's a lot of boobs, though.
There are boobs. I mean, there's 2 boobs. There might be more, I guess. We have some guests.
Yeah.
Boob guests.
Guest breasts.
Guest breasts. Yeah. I was trying to find it. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, we can, if you have more you want to talk about, we could put a pin in that and come back to it.
I'm sure I could find something, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you got?
My first idea is, I'm still looking for a good title, but it's something along the lines of the kindergarten deep lore or storytime deep lore, something like that.
Okay.
And the idea is...
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
Well,
I'm excited.
The idea is getting into some of the weird quirks in children's media, like what are the implications? What does it suggest? Let me give some examples. So we've been watching a lot of Elmo lately because that's something Rory's been enjoying lately. And I don't know if you ever noticed this about Elmo, listeners, but Elmo does not use first person singular pronouns. He never says I or me or my or anything like that. He always says Elmo's.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Like,
yep.
Like, next time won't you sing with Elmo at the end of the alphabet kind of thing, right? Which is kind of weird and annoying to me. I just find it sort of off-putting for some reason. But I also was thinking about it, and I don't know how they must have handled this at some point, but I can't think of a time. But Elmo can't introduce himself because all he can say is, "Hi, Elmo's name is Elmo," right? He can't say, "Hi, my name is Elmo," or something, right? Like, oh, who's that? Elmo? His name is Elmo? I guess that makes sense.
He doesn't say my?
No, he doesn't say my. He doesn't say me. He just says Elmo's or whatever.
Yeah. He's always got to be introduced.
I guess so.
By someone.
Or he just sings like Elmo's Wonderful World and it's Elmo, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, he needs no introduction.
Well, at this point, I guess. Yeah. But at some point, yeah, I don't know.
At some point, Big Bird probably introduced him.
Yeah, probably.
Or something.
Or something like that. There's also, I think I talked about it in one of the outros recently, maybe, but Oscar the Grouch is a Time Lord. Right.
You did talk about this.
In Elmo's Adventures in Grouchland, the movie, Elmo jumps into Oscar's trash can, right? And there's a whole living room he goes into down there. And you can see there's doors to other places. There's a swimming pool. There's clearly a room that's a swimming pool off of that room.
Right.
And there's a portal to Grouchland, which I guess is a whole other dimension or something.
Right.
But basically, Oscar has Time Lord bigger on the inside technology, even has a swimming pool like TARDISes famously do, or at least the Doctor's TARDIS and Doctor Who's.
Do you think he can travel through time?
I don't know. He can travel through space or dimensions or whatever to Grouchland.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe Grouchland is on a different timeline or something. Actually, I didn't watch more than the beginning of that movie, so I don't know if there's any more canon that could be found there. I was trying to watch it with Rory, but he was not at all interested.
No.
So. But anyway, I think that's an interesting thing.
Wouldn't it be exciting when he gets to the age that he can be into Doctor Who?
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. There's also, this is a small one, and the last maybe Sesame Street one, themed one for the time being, but there's an animation that we've been watching where they do the, I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to oot ooples and bananas, right? And each time they start a new one, they have an anthropomorphic letter. Well, a letter with a face and a mouth, or eyes and a mouth.
Are we going to talk about the U?
Yeah, and there's and there's oh, I'm A. I love A sounds. Say the A, apples and bananas or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they go through the letters and then U comes up and it's hi, I'm you. I'm a pervert. I don't know why they give it a super pervert coded voice.
It really did.
I'll put in a little recording of it here if I can get one.
And now it's time for you.
Me?
No, the letter U. Let's try ooples and bananas.
Yeah, it's very creepy sounding.
It's why would you ever use that voice on a children's show at all?
Yeah. Gives I like to oot.
Yeah.
I can't even do it.
He's
ooples and bananas.
He's really whispery, but yeah, I'm you. Don't you want to touch my letter parts? Or I don't know. Right? He doesn't say that. He doesn't really say anything weird. He just says it in that weird voice, and it's why? It's a specifically weird pervert voice.
Right.
So it's very strange. But there's also stuff outside of Sesame Street, in the world in general.
Sesame Street is not the entire world.
Yeah. For
example, what you're telling me?
For example, in the book Goodnight Moon, right? If you're not familiar, there's a little bunny lying in the bed and says goodnight moon, goodnight room, goodnight.
Yeah, there's
all the stuff.
Well, there's a prequel.
Yeah,
to it.
Well, so there's a prequel to it, I guess, which I think explains what I'm about to talk about. But there's this really weird painting of like a rabbit fishing. It's hard to describe, but like there's this very strange painting on the wall that you just sort of see offhandedly, or, you know, like
Right.
it's not ever like mentioned or pointed out or anything. It's just kind of there. But it's another kind of one of those kind of things. It's like, what is going on with that? Why is that there? You
Right.
know? So that's kind of the idea, is like finding, you know, or talking about some of the weird little things you find in children's media that, you know.
Okay, because I was thinking you were going to say, like, we invent lore. Like, what's the story behind the 5 little ducks?
Yeah,
Like-
okay. Well, no, I mean, that could also make sense. We could speculate about what the implications or why something is a certain
Why
way,
did they
right?
go out one after the other and just disappear? And then suddenly they all came back.
I do actually sort of have a theory about that.
You do?
A little bit.
Okay.
Which is, so 5 little ducks went out one day over the hill and far away. Mother duck said, quack, 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 and only 4 little ducks came back. She quacked 4 times. So the duck was like, oh, only 4 of us need to come back.
But then the third time, she still quacks 4 times.
She quacks
Like
4
three-
times every time, but I'm
Right.
thinking, my theory is that the first time she did it, the one duck left, and then the other times the other ducks were like, well, I guess one duck leaves each time. And so it just goes on from there.
Okay.
But
It's not the most
it's
exciting
not much of a
theory.
theory, but it's a start, I guess.
I was like thinking, could we come up with something more sinister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where they replaced. They're not the same ducks.
They're not the same
Or
ducks.
it's like a pet
They
cemetery
were
thing.
changelinged.
Yeah. Or it's a pet cemetery thing where they died and came back wrong, you know, came back different.
Oh, okay.
And the next verse is going to be horrible.
All the 5 little ducks came back.
Yeah.
So we could write more verses.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That could be a fun idea.
Yeah. Okay. Those could be maybe 2 different ideas or 2 related,
Yeah.
similar ideas.
Yeah. We can talk about weird things and also like make up lore.
Make up lore on stuff.
Yeah. We could have people send in like, what nursery rhyme do you want more lore for?
Like we could easily.
Like Little Miss Muffet. Like
Stat
Little
on
Miss
top of it,
Muffet.
Yeah.
Like do we need some Miss Muffet lore?
Right. Or I feel like Humpty Dumpty is pretty ripe for some lore explanations. Why did they think the horses would be able to put them back together?
I think I saw like
I think it's a
meme.
Far Side
I think I
comic or
saw a
something.
meme about that where somebody was like, the king's men came to the king and were like, we tried and we couldn't put him back together again. And the king is really drunk and goes, let the horses try.
Yeah. I think there's a Far Side comic where it's like the horses are trying and they're like, let's let the king's men try again or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, because it does start out in the rhyme that first it's all the king's horses and then it's all the king's
Right,
men.
right.
So why did you let the horses try first?
Right.
Surely they did more damage than good.
Right. There's also the fact that it's never mentioned in Humpty Dumpty that he's an egg. We always think of him as an egg. He's always drawn as an egg. But like it just says Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and had to fall and he couldn't be put back together.
Because like you couldn't draw him as a person. That would be far
Right.
too gruesome for a
Right.
children's tale.
And
But you think maybe he's actually supposed to be a person?
well, I don't know. Maybe he's a person. Maybe he could be
Mr. Dumpty?
Mr. H Dumpty.
Mr. H Dumpty.
Yeah, and yeah,
Nobody
it gets-
knew what the H stood for, and one guy was like, Humpty.
Yeah, yeah,
Suggestion.
yeah. That's also what the H in Jesus H Christ stands for.
Jesus Humpty Christ.
But yeah, so
That's a good swear, actually.
Yeah.
Jesus Humpty Christ. Jesus Humpty Christ.
Okay, that's that idea. We can come back to that if we want to talk more silly.
Yeah.
It's also obviously dovetails with just the stage of life that we're in right now.
Yeah, this is true.
We were watching a
As
lot of
did my
children's
idea.
things.
So,
yeah.
I guess
Reading-
that's the theme of this episode.
Yeah, and also most of the other episodes.
And also most of the other episodes. This is a chronicle of our life as parents.
Yeah, it sort of is.
Yeah.
Do you have any other ideas potentially?
Could we review children's toys?
Children's toys. I believe we've had this idea, but we could talk about it
Yeah.
again. Do you have some reviews you would like to give for some children's toys?
Well, I got Rory a stacker train because, he needed more toys.
A stacker train.
A stacker
which is a
train.
train
It's got little blocks that you stack up on pegs
to make it into a train, basically.
to make it into a train.
It's like little platforms with wheels and pegs that you stack stuff on, and it looks like a train when you're done.
Yeah, and he really wanted it like when we were at the store. So
Yeah.
I was like, great, this is a toy he will very much enjoy playing with. And he's played with it a couple times. He just dumps all the blocks out.
Yeah,
then
he-
he's like, I'm done.
He picks it up, turns it over, all the blocks fall off. When I try to put the blocks back on, he picks it up and drops them back off again. And that's kind of how he plays with blocks in general.
Yeah.
Is I stack them up and he knocks them over and then he's not interested anymore.
It'll probably change over time.
Yeah.
But, 2-year-olds.
Yep.
Almost 2-year-olds.
And he's only barely 2, yeah.
He will be 2 on Wednesday when this episode
when
comes
this episode
out.
should come out, yeah. So happy birthday, Rory.
Yeah, so maybe we just need to do we needed to do a Rory themed episode.
Right. So what would we do for a Rory themed happy birthday Rory episode, do you think? I mean, we already kind of have been talking about Rory the whole time anyway, but
we could talk about 2-year-olds and how 2-year-olds are different from 1-year-olds.
Okay, they're about a year older.
Yeah, well, they are that. That's true of all birthdays.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're born on a leap year.
Well, not really. You're still only a year apart.
Time is an illusion.
Yeah.
So
let's not get into that.
We could talk about how much longer his hair is.
Quite a bit, about a year's growth longer. Pretty easy comparison, actually.
Yeah.
Everything's just plus 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, what was he doing in one? Was he talking a lot?
I don't think he was talking a whole lot.
He was talking.
He was definitely walking.
He wasn't saying any words. He wasn't walking yet. He didn't walk till like 13 months.
Oh, wasn't he walking at his birthday?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
He could kind of like take a step towards you and fall over, but he wasn't like walking.
Yeah. I guess
he was doing the he could walk holding on to things,
right,
but
right.
he couldn't stand on his own.
Right. Okay.
Well, he could stand on his own, but not walk.
Yeah.
He was still getting the standing down.
Yeah, and now he runs out everywhere.
Yeah, he runs everywhere. He's just all over the place. Story time at night is way different now.
Yeah, true. He's much worse at paying attention to the stories.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Right? He gets up and runs around.
Halfway through the book, he'll grab your hand and like make you go into the closet.
Right. He loves to play in and out of the closet.
Yeah.
He laughs hysterically. I go in and walk into the closet and then
he'll yell out.
He's like looking at you and he goes out and you run out and he laughs his head off. It is a nice period, I guess, of how easy it is to make him laugh his head off.
He's very easy to entertain. Like, I mean, he's really into peekaboo. Like, you put your hands in front of your face and say, "Where's Mama?" and move your hands and say "boo," and it's the funniest thing he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah, like anything where it's a little thing that he can anticipate for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then know it's coming.
Yeah.
That makes him like, you can tickle him and he does like that, but if you make like you're gonna tickle him and wait a few seconds, that gets him going. Like,
yeah. And I know that people like always say their kid does like the cute, like people are always like their kid is the cutest, right? But he really does have an infectious laugh.
Yeah.
Like he has a great like classic baby giggle.
His giggle is very good. Yeah. We got a pretty good baby.
Yeah.
Pretty good baby.
Yeah. In my opinion, pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, so we could do more Rory stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything we do is a bit Rory tinged anyway.
Yeah, yeah, but I feel like there should be a baby theme to this episode if it's coming out on Rory's birthday.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
I did have another idea that's not baby themed or anything very close to that.
I'll allow it.
And that idea is the weekly meme report, where we talk about the latest memes as if we're like news reporters. So, for example, Svetlana a week or two ago was sending us this meme. I guess she was telling us this is like a viral meme right now, which is a picture of the Grinch, but it's like tinted blue instead of green. And what does it say? It says like that feeling when
you have knee surgery tomorrow
in the morning or something.
Or when you have knee surgery in the morning.
Yeah. And so that's apparently a viral meme lately.
I didn't get it.
I don't know if there's anything to get, right? Like, what could there be to get about it other than that
I don't get why it became viral, though.
Maybe it's a reference to something, or a lot of times memes are
it apparently was like a resurgence because she sent me an article about it because I guess that's what she does.
Yeah, she Googles articles about memes. Well, if we do this podcast, that would be what we do also. I guess.
Or we'd write the articles. Or
we could do our own original research, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like I feel like there's always weird, dumb new memes to talk about. There's like, and also like it's really easy, I think, think in today's kind of world, for there to be huge viral memes that you never hear about.
Right.
Right? Like, are you familiar with the whole Haktua thing? Did you hear about that?
I mean, how could I not be?
Well, I mean, like I was saying, you could easily miss it.
I've seen it. I don't actually know the thing behind it, but I've seen it referenced.
Do you know
everywhere.
about Talktua?
No.
Okay, so Haktua is a thing. This is an adult meme, not a child meme like the Grinch thing or whatever. But it's a girl interviewed like outside a bar or something, asking how she keeps a man satisfied or something, and she's like, "I'd go Haktua and spit on that thing," or something silly like that, right? And it's like it wasn't that great of a video or anything, but I guess it went super viral. And Talktua is the podcast that she started after she became famous for this silly meme, and apparently it's a big podcast.
Well, I mean, good for her, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, no shade on her.
Yeah.
If you can leverage that moment of virality or whatever to a career in podcasting, I guess that's cool, or a career in whatever. But anyway, so there's lots of weird memes and weird things that happen because of memes. So I thought we could just have a meme report podcast.
Okay.
Could be fun.
That could be fun. I think we should put a pin in it because I want to do more Rory related stuff.
Okay. Should we just do that then?
Yeah.
Like just call that our idea for the week?
Just Rory things?
Yeah. Or kid stuff or baby stuff or something.
Yeah. That could be the name of the podcast. Just Rory things.
Just Rory things. Just baby stuff.
Just baby stuff. If we call it just Rory things, we might rope in some Gilmore Girls fans.
They'll be disappointed and probably won't stick around very long, I think. But
yeah. No, they'll stick around because everybody likes babies. Okay, not everybody likes babies.
No, a lot of people don't like babies, but okay.
But most people a lot of people like babies. A lot of people like babies.
A lot of people like babies.
A lot of people like babies.
Science fact.
And then I don't know what the Venn diagram is for like Gilmore Girls fans and baby fans.
Baby enjoyers.
But I'm sure there's some overlap.
There's probably.
What is your favorite thing that Rory has done this month? Or a favorite thing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's hard to say.
He's been really into watching you play the ukulele lately.
That's true. And he used to stop you. Yeah, he used to a lot of times in the past, like I would play a little bit and he would sit there and like be happy. And then pretty quickly he would stand up, make me pick him up while still holding the ukulele. And then I would try to keep playing and he would put his hand on it. And then if I kept trying to play, he would push it away.
Yeah.
And he still does that a little bit now, but a lot of times he also a lot of times he wants me to play and will sit there and just like, if I play certain songs, at least he'll just sit there and listen to them.
Yeah, it's very cute.
But he also wants to just carry the ukulele around
and
himself.
Stick things in it.
He stuck his letters. He stuck a crayon in there, in the hole.
Yeah.
And I think we have 9 ukuleles in the house.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are plastic and pretty childproof, I think.
Yeah, those are the ones we usually let him play around with.
Drag that around, and he bonks it on stuff a little bit. He doesn't like try to hit anything real hard with it, but he does kind of bonk it on stuff.
In that way that like babies don't walk well, so he just kind of like knocks into things.
Yeah, but he also just will stand there and kind of bonk it on the floor a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I mean, I think it was like a $30 ukulele anyway,
yeah.
Right? Like it was cheap. It doesn't sound especially great because it is all made of plastic and it's pretty durable. So I guess it's fine. But I'm still like, as he's dragging around.
Right.
But then he also sometimes wants to drag around the other ukuleles. And I have an actually fairly nice ukulele that I spent like $150 on that hangs on the wall in the bedroom in a way where he can actually kind of knock it off.
Yeah. It's not quite high enough anymore.
Fallen on the floor a couple times. That kind of.
Yeah.
So far it's been fine. It'll probably be fine. But it's like,
when we move, maybe we hang it up a little higher.
Yeah, or somewhere else or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually yesterday I was playing it for him, the ukulele, and he listened to a song for a while, and then I kept playing because he didn't seem to be tired of it, but he started just putting his face on the strings, and I kept trying to play, and he would like pull his face back and put his face on. I think it was maybe just like feeling the vibrations on his face was cool or something.
He does that though sometimes. He'll just lay his head on things.
He just puts his face on stuff.
Yeah.
But then he did start to try to bite it. after a while. I was like, oh, let's not do that, maybe.
What else has he done lately that's pretty cute?
I don't know. I don't know if this has to be specifically just Rory.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we might be calling it just Rory's things, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it just can only be just things about Rory.
Yeah.
Because I think we could also talk about some of the stuff he watches, like I was talking about with the deep lore stuff. We could also just come back to that idea later, I guess. But
yeah. What are some things that he watches that you don't like?
So I don't like any of those choo-choo videos or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
So there's like,
yeah, I'm not a fan of those either.
there's on the Sesame Street channel, they have on YouTube, they have like playlists they've created. And like, so sometimes we put on the one that's like ABC songs and stuff. And like half of the videos are Sesame Street of like, you know, Elmo singing the ABCs or Big Bird's song that I've only recently discovered that I quite like.
Yeah.
Where he thinks that the whole alphabet is a word. He's like,
Yeah.
abcadefrigicamal something.
However you pronounce the alphabet.
Yeah, he like pronounces the whole alphabet as a word. He's like,
and he's singing about what it could possibly
I was
mean.
like, it might be a kind of elephant or a funny kind of kazoo.
Yeah.
It might be something else or a funny shade of blue. Like,
Yeah, it's a pretty cute
it's a pretty cute song. But anyway, it'll be that stuff. And then these other videos that are like Choo Choo Kids or like CHU.
Yeah,
CHU,
I don't. They're on some of the Sesame Street playlists, so I guess they must be related, or maybe it's just another thing on PBS or something.
Maybe, I don't know. But I hate the style.
Yeah.
Some of the songs are okay, I guess, but I don't like the way they're sung, like the voice, like I don't know. I just don't like anything about them. They feel very like
mass generated.
Yeah, like somebody used AI to create kids videos. I mean, they're not I don't think there's any AI that could actually do this yet. So I don't think they're actually AI generated, but they feel like in a couple of years, AI will probably be able to generate kids videos and they will probably be like this. Like the art is very like clip art style, kind of like
they're
very,
annoying in the same way that Coco Melon is annoying, I feel like.
In a similar way, I guess.
They're just there's nothing
they're
unique
not like
about
3D
them.
animated,
and I don't know,
Coco Melon, but
there's something that I don't love about like I prefer like people and puppets to like animation when it comes to kids shows that we show them.
Well, I mean, like you
unless
like
it's something like Bluey, right? But that's something unique.
Well, but also Bluey is an animated show that's animated, right? Like it's actually animated, you know, probably 24 frames per second or whatever,
as opposed to computer generated or something.
Yeah, the kid like the art in these Choo Choo videos is like sprites that they rotate and move the arms, or like puppets, right?
Yeah.
Not like somebody drew 24 frames or whatever. They're very cheaply animated to the point where like animated is almost a technicality, right? Like they are animated.
Like it's like there's one with like the monkeys sitting on a branch and it's just like they're just rocking back and forth.
Right,
they're not actually like, it's kind of jittery and
right. And they probably don't even use like easing on the animation.
Yeah.
It's probably just straight back and forth computer animation, whatever.
Yeah. No easing.
Yeah. Well,
I know what that means, but I think probably like there are a lot of people listening who have no idea what you're talking about.
So when you animate stuff on a computer, by default you put, you know, it goes from point A to point B, right? And it goes at a constant speed from A to B, right? If it takes 1 second, then, you know, it's going at whatever the distance is divided by 1 second speed, right? Whatever. If you don't know about easing. But in real world, that never happens, right? When you throw a ball, it first starts out slow and then it goes fast and then it slows back down.
Right.
When it lands wherever it lands, right? And so easing is just adding that slowness at the beginning, the slowness in the middle, or slowness at the other end.
So it doesn't
look
jumpy.
So it doesn't look, so it's not a constant speed the whole way because nothing actually is like that in real life.
Right.
But in a really fast, cheap animation, you might not bother to stick that in and it'll just look really artificial, basically.
Right.
Anyway, so those aren't great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, I mean, there are definitely some Sesame Street songs that I don't particularly like. And like, there's a whole weird, and it looks like it was filmed in the 70s. There's a whole like disco alphabet song with Grover. He's in a leisure suit. Some girl Muppet comes up to him at the beginning. He's like, "Hey, Grover, do you want to dance?" And he's like, "Maybe later." I don't really understand why any of that happens. And then he sings like the alphabet and like does a disco dance and there's a disco ball and everything. And it looks looks like it was filmed, like it's like really low quality film too.
Yeah.
So
Other things, like I think it's interesting when you watch something enough times, you just start to notice little things.
Right.
Like I noticed that, so they do the ones where like different artists will sing alphabet songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one with Tilly and the Wall.
Right. A band I never heard of before.
Yeah.
But
I think I know them from like my Pandora days.
it's a band with like 3 women and 2 men.
Yeah.
Like some kind of indie band, I guess. Right?
Yeah. But they're like they're dancing around in like all these like colorful clothing and like shoes that look like they were like DIY decorated.
Yeah, they're
and
like
stuff.
they're different colors and they have stuff all over them. Like one of the girls' shoes has like broken up mirror pieces all over it.
Yeah.
Kind of cool looking and stuff.
But one of them is wearing shoes that appear to have shit written on the side.
Yeah, like sort of on the bottom toward the heel.
Yeah, I just was like, well, one, why would you wear that for Sesame Street?
And 2, how did nobody catch
How
that?
did nobody catch it? Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
but apparently
yeah, you're the only one who's noticed.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the people that we've had watch it at our place,
Yeah,
which
like,
is not that many, but
it took me. I mean, we had to like rewind it several times for me to even be able to see it when you brought it up.
which was interesting to me because I felt like it was glaringly obvious.
Well, I was also trying to look at her socks,
Yeah.
which also had words on them.
Yeah.
But her shoes have a bunch of other crap like glued to them and stuff too, and they're colorful and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's certainly you can be distracted. I wouldn't even be that surprised if she forgot that was on there, right? 'Cause
Right.
she's got like all these kind of super colorful dress, super colorful socks and shoes and stuff. So
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you'd be picking out your outfit that you're going to wear for your Sesame Street.
yeah, but maybe
Like,
she only has one pair of like wacky shoes like that and forgot that they had that on there. I don't know.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
they were wacky enough that you could have just put like tape over
Tape
that.
over
And
it, I
probably
suppose.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
noticed, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I also just think it's interesting that like I pointed it out and people still couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it. Well,
Yeah.
It's also the word is partly covered by the buckle of or
Yeah.
the strap of the shoe.
Like, so I wonder because we've wondered at times if Rory has hyperlexia because he's like people I think throw out the term obsessed, but he literally is very obsessed with letters
He
and
loves
words.
letters so much. Yeah.
And I think I similarly like I read very early, so there's part of me that's like maybe I just focus on this stuff more.
Yeah,
And maybe
maybe.
maybe he got some of that from me. I don't know how it all works,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I also
like
think,
he can already recognize the word cat. He's not even 2 yet.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a normal thing.
Yeah. I spelled out cat with some of his letters and he said cat.
Yeah.
And then I spelled out meow with some of his letters and he said meow.
Yeah. And he knows
Which-
shy.
Yeah, like I did it again today and he didn't read it, so I don't know if. But also when we're reading one of his books, like I'll pause and wait for him to say a thing. But if he hasn't been paying attention, he doesn't remember where we're at. But if I point to the word, he'll look at it and say the thing.
Yeah. He
right?
recognizes
So he definitely
words.
is doing some amount of sort of reading,
Yeah.
or reading adjacent kind of cognition, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've read to him a lot from a very early age, but I mean, I don't think that's it. I mean, I think it's just
Yeah, because
he's just into it.
he has lots of different kinds of toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And the alphabet toys he's always loved the most.
Yeah. Rory has joined us.
Rory woke up and has joined us.
He immediately, I got him these foam letters that he can play with in the bathtub that stick to the side of the wall, the side of the bathtub when they're wet. And they are his absolute favorite thing. So he knows they're in the bathroom. So when he gets up from his nap, he immediately runs in there. And that's what he did. And he's coming holding a J, which seems to be his favorite one right now.
You say Jay?
You got a J?
He's not awake enough to say anything, probably.
He's looking at me like, what are you talking about?
All right. Well, since Rory's up now, I think we need to go ahead and wrap up the podcast.
We're on borrowed time.
Yeah. Do you want to do the social media stuff?
Yeah, so you can find all of our links to our social media on our website, which is coolpodcast.website. You can email us your ideas to ideas@coolpodcast.website. We will give you a shout out, talk about your cool/stupid ideas. We are on Instagram and Threads at What Should Pod, and we should be on Blue Sky soon once I get around to it. And you can also find us on YouTube. Just search for What Should Our Podcast Be About? You can listen to the episodes there. And Miles occasionally will do a fun animation. And that is it. That's all I got.
Welcome to What Should Our Outro Be About? The outro where we try to figure out what this outro that you're listening to right now should be about. I'm still here.
And I'm also still here.
What do we got for outro stuff? We need a phrase.
We need a phrase.
Need a
secret phrase. Shit shoes.
Shit shoes. Shitting shoes.
Shitting shoes.
Yeah, maybe not for like.
Yeah. We should keep the swears out of it.
Keep it a little bit PG, maybe.
Shoot shoes.
Well, that doesn't. Poop shoes?
Poop shoes. Sure.
Poop shoes? Okay, poop shoes, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's the phrase. You post that. If you're the first one to comment that in the comments, then you win the episode. You can request a drawing from me or a song from Ginger.
Yeah.
And then we will declare you're the winner and it'll be cool. You'll be cool, finally.
If this little contest gets more popular, I might have to come up with a different prize.
Yeah.
Because I already regret my choices.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah.
As far as outro things.
Could our outro just be Rory shouting car?
It could. Well, we do have a recording already of Rory. Rory got a blue car and he now can say blue car. Well, I mean, he says blue car.
But he says blue and then he shouts the car part and he draws it out a really long time. Car.
Yeah. Or if we
he's the goal guy.
the
soccer goal guy.
Yeah. Or if we say blue, he goes car. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, we could have more than one outro if you have another idea, but I feel like our listeners deserve to hear that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I have anything.
Okay.
We'll just do that and that'll be right here.
Blue car. What is it?
Blue
car. What color is it? Car. Blue. Car. Is it fun to say? Car.
Okay.
Oh, wait. One other thing. We have to say happy birthday to Rory because...
Oh, yes. This should be going up on Rory's birthday unless I don't edit it in time and then it might be the day after.
Happy birthday, Rory.
Happy birthday, Rory. You're 2 years old.
We love you.
Did we get a recording of him saying he's 2?
Yes. We could include that too. Yeah. We taught him how to say 2 in response to how old are you?
Yeah.
So
it'll be Rory. I mean, it's a pretty Rory themed episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. So it'll be Rory themed outro as well.
Yep.
So then
take us out for real.
Bonus outro, Rory saying he's 2, and that'll be here.
Rory, how old are you?
2.
Yay!
All right. Thanks for listening. We're sorry and we won't do better next time.
Bye.
Bye. What was that podcast about? I'm trying to figure it out. Didn't catch what that was about.